We'll get started. So have a seat in the chair if you've got a chair, or on the floor propped up if that works better for you. As you plant yourself in the chair, allow there to be 90 degrees at the hips. Let the thigh bones be parallel, knees parallel, in line with the hip bones. And 90 degrees at the knees, so that the ankles are directly under the knees. And the toes parallel, pointing straight forward. So you can take a look down. Just notice if you have a tendency to turn out or turn in the feet. If you're able, lift and spread your 10 toes. Lay them back down. And right away, identifying and finding these foundational points. Right? So pressing down a little bit with the feet, feeling awareness in the inner and outer heel, and the mound of the big toe over, all the way over to the little toe. Yesod, foundation. And then we also have in sitting a second bit of foundation here, more than a bit, a lot. The pelvis, the sitting bones, which form the base of the pelvis. And you can, even if you're comfortable, reach down under your buttocks and feel those bones and move some of the flesh away and find those two sitting bones, ground them down evenly left to right, and just feel the support of this foundation, this connection with the chair. By being evenly in the center of the sitting bones, the spine can rise up tall. Feet, sitting bones. And then there's a third sense of foundation, actually, which we don't necessarily think of as such. The thoracic diaphragm, right? So the diaphragm, the respiratory diaphragm, that is kind of like a parachute, and as we inhale, moves down into the abdominal cavity, right? Displaces the abdominal organs a little, belly comes out when we inhale. And as we exhale, tucks back up under the ribs. And the diaphragm, thoracic diaphragm, connects all the way around the rib cage. And so this is a foundation and a stability, not just for our respiration, but for the torso, for the upper half of the body. So already we've identified and can feel 3 senses of foundation. Feet, 4 corners of the feet, 2 sitting bones, base of the pelvis, thoracic diaphragm. And just be here with this and breathe smoothly, easily, couple breaths. Okay, and then we're going to cross the right leg over the left thigh, just above the knee here. If it's too much flexion on the hip, you'll want to come towards the edge of the chair and straighten out the left leg so you have a little more room to breathe there on the right, whatever works for you. So first, just sitting up here with this. And if you'd like, you can even rock forward a little bit with the torso. Get a little more juice in, come to your edge of sensation in that right hip and buttock. Don't want to have any pain in the knee. And then come up to sitting. We're going to do a little bit of foot massage. So heating up the hands. Rub the hands together, get some heat going. And then just place the hands on either side of the foot. Just allow that warmth to transmit to the foot. And we're going to do a little massage. So using the thumb pads mostly, just working your way into the foot in any way that you like. It might be slow movement. It might be rubbing down the foot. It might be finding a reflexology point or just a tender point and pressing in and staying and breathing. Just putting all of your focus, your awareness of sensation into the hands and the right foot. So you can choose how much pressure, the style of touch, and whatever feels good. Cover the whole sole of the foot. Take your time. The arch, the heel. Get back to the Achilles tendon. Notice where it feels really comfortable. Notice where it feels tender. Notice where you might have any pain. Just see if you can come to your foot without judgment. And if you notice the mind wanders to just checking out your pedicure or the state of your foot, just bring it back to sensation. Taking the hand to each toe, giving it a little rub and a little pull, each little piggy. And then take the left hand and put fingers in between the toes of the right foot to the best of your ability, making a little self-toe spreader. These things exist on the market and they're wonderful, wonderful aids to have. And you can also do toe spreading yourself. And once you've got the fingers in there, it can be a little crunchy in there. Take the foot in circles, opening up the ankle. One direction and the other direction. Spread the toes and then pull those fingers out. And lastly, clap the hands onto the foot and shake it out. And then bring it back down. Close your eyes and notice how you feel right to left in those feet. What's your sense of aliveness in the feet? What's your sense of the surface area of each foot or temperature of each foot? Just observe. How aware are you of the sole of the foot, of the arch? And then open the eyes and we'll switch sides. So taking the left foot up onto the right. And again, you can lengthen that bottom leg if you like. Sitting up tall and even perhaps folding forward slightly. Bringing some stretch into the left outer hip, buttock, thigh. Again, not getting anywhere into the pain zone. If you do, or if there's any burning or shooting or anything coming right out, you don't want to go to nerve. And then bring the hands together once again. Warm up the palms. And place the hands on either side of the foot. Just bring some warmth to the foot. And then begin to bring up a little bit of massage, taking the thumb pads into the sole of the foot. You can also use the fingers on the top of the foot. Moving as consciously, deliberately as you can. Really using the felt sensation to receive self-touch. It's a blessing to yourself, to these feet that work so hard for us. And get the whole foot Take your time. Ankle bone, Achilles tendon, heel. See what needs attention. See where you might need to press and hold a bit. Bringing some care and love to these feet. Again, if the mind wanders, just bringing it back. Grabbing hold of each toe, just giving it a little rub and a pull. And then once again, taking the fingers of the right hand and placing them between each toe, if you're able. Ooh. And then making circles. One direction and the other direction. And then pull those fingers out, and once again, a little bit of a clap. Shake out the foot. Place it down. And once again, notice how you feel, left to right. Temperature, any tingling, any aliveness to the feet. So, a little bit of sharing on this week of Yesod. As I said earlier, it's the 39th day of the Omer. We're in the 6th week of the Omer and the 4th day of the week. So we're at Netzach she beyesod, eternity within foundation or connection. So I want to focus on the Yesod part, foundation, roots, connection, community. And it's also known as tzedek, justice, righteousness. And this sphira or midah is associated with Joseph. And I want to say a little something, as we got a comment last week, and it's really important to name that each sphira, as I'm using them according to the teachings of Art Green, has been associated not by Art Green, but has been associated with a man. It is so important to name that the tradition of Kabbalah is studied by men, written for men, highlighting men, leaving many of us out, right? And there's really there can be this sense of exclusion. And so it's just important to name that this tradition is coming from that place, and we seek very much to work into inclusion of others. In the sense of the Sfirot, it's not maybe like the Ushpizin, where we can just invite the partner, like Abraham and Sarah, into the room. It's a little more nuanced than that. And I want to work to invite more than just the men into the room, for sure, for the sake of all of us. And so I want to invite you to think about any ancestors in your life that speak for foundation and connection as we move through this. So remember that it's thesis, antithesis, synthesis, right? And we went through the first triad, chesed, gvura, tiferet, right? The balance of love and boundaries into tiferet, harmony, balance. And now we're on this second triad, right? Netzach and Hod, coming to the synthesis of Yesod. So what Art Green has to say about that is that it's the balance of Moses, Netzach, the transforming prophet, and Aaron, the accepting priest, Hod, is the tzaddik, the righteous one, is Joseph, the rectifier, the balanced self after another round of testing. So I want to talk about in the body, where do we find foundation in the body? What helps us connect to our bodies? How do we lay the groundwork, the foundation for what we want to create in our own lives and for others? So let us come to stand. And I'll share a little more from Art Green on Yesod perhaps after at the Q&A too, a little more from that section. So first just coming to stand and a little bit of prancing through the feet. Now that we've done such nice foot massage, just kind of doing this little bit of, Michael Jackson moonwalk, coming forward onto the balls of the feet, coming back down. Just, working through the toes. You can even bring the toes off. Maybe get some snap, crackle, pop through the ankles, through the bones of the feet. Just feel the feet move. If you've ever watched a cat, it's just kind of like the kneading that a cat does. Feel that through your feet. And then come to mountain pose, either with feet together or the feet hip width apart. Stabilize yourself. Again, lift and spread the toes. Find those four corners of the feet, inner and outer heel. Ball of the big toe over to the mound of the little toe. Feel the knees on top of the ankles, the hips balanced over knees and ankles, the shoulders balancing above, and the crown of your head reaching up. Feel your connection to the earth. So you want to really feel this sense of roots down through the feet. And the way that the feet create a foundation sustained by the earth for the alignment of the rest of the body. Be here and breathe. Breathe, observe, allow. And then we're going to take the legs wide. The outer edges of the feet in line with the outer edges of the mat, and even turn the toes in a little bit if you're able. Take the hands to the top of the hip crest here, where the top of the hip ends, and just press the palms of the hands down. You feel a grounding from the hips to the ankles to the feet. Yesod. Feel your foundation. We're going to build a pose, just really slowly from the foundation. And then take the arms out, shoulder height, palms facing down. Let the shoulder blades drop down the back. Have a sense of isometrics here so that the arms aren't just flopping out here in space, but it's almost like you have two beach balls, one under each arm. And you can engage the lat muscles on the sides of the torso. You can draw the shoulder blades down the back and lengthen the neck, spread the fingers, press down a little bit with the hands, feeling foundation. 5-pointed star. You got the feet, you got the hands, you got the crown of the head. And then take the hands to the waist. Inhale, draw the elbows back, lift the heart, and exhale, fold forward from the crease of the hips. Sorry, I should have said it earlier. You can take the hands to the chair if balance is, if you want the prop there, or you can take the hands to the floor if they reach, if that's your pose today. So be where you are. Don't be a warrior. Grab the chair if that's best for you. Draw the thigh bones back, lengthen crown and tailbone in two directions, and continue to feel this yesod, this foundation, this connection of the feet to the earth. And then as you're ready, hands to the waist, inhale to come up, step or hop the feet together. We're going to take the knee up to the chest, and I want to show you a couple ways to do this. So you might take your chair in front of you. Left leg is the standing leg. We're going to bring the right knee up toward the chest. So it might look like this. Foot on the chair, just balancing here. Finding that foundation of the left foot as the standing leg. You might start here. And you might continue by clasping hands under your right thigh, seeing that your hips are even. So now we have the element of more balancing, bringing in, right? But you're fine to just stay right here. This is also a great balance point on one leg. Or you may want to go further, clasp hands in front of the right shin and draw the knee up toward the chest. Again, you want to see that the right hip doesn't hike up. Be here and breathe. Micro bend in the left knee, feeling that foundation in the left foot. And then release. Find mountain pose. Find the middle. And then we'll take the other side. Shifting over to the right leg, we bring the left knee up to the chair. Clasping hands under the left thigh. You choose whatever you want to be working with, whatever's just right for you today. That's the essence of yoga, right? Tapping into your own body's wisdom. So I'm just the teacher from the outside. Let your body tell you where to go, what's best for you. I'm just offering a few touchstones of advice, but they may not always work for you. Or taking the shin, drawing the knee up. Continuing to feel the foundation of that right foot, the right thigh drawing back. Release back to mountain pose. Now we're going to take it to tree pose. So also a wonderful way you can use the chair. We're going to stand on the left leg and bring the right knee up. Right, so we could just start here. Beautiful expression of tree pose. Whether you're going to ultimately move on to more balance, it's fine. This is such a nice way to drop the right sitting bone. And then maybe coming into a expression of tree pose with balancing, either to the ankle or the calf or above the knee. Just don't ever press the foot into the knee. You never want to do that. That joint doesn't move in that direction. Can you contact the sense of yesod, this connection through that standing leg? And if you fall out, you just come back in. It's not a big deal. As you're ready, release. We'll take the other side. So now balancing on the right leg as your standing leg, perhaps bringing the left leg up to the chair. Where can you release any effort through either leg, right? Find that here, and then if you'd like to move on to a balance pose off the chair, go for it. And then as you're ready, release. And we'll move one more time to the wide-legged forward fold. So if you want the chair, go ahead and put the chair in front of you. So to really feel, this is our last standing pose. So feeling yesod, feeling the foundation here as expressed through the feet. Hands to the hips, inhale, lift up, and exhale, fold over. And maybe this time you want to come into the full expression of the pose. Wherever you are is the full expression of the pose. Maybe you want to go a little deeper in the pose if it's available to you or you're interested, folding all the way forward. Or staying in this 90-degree place, also beautiful. And if you're folding down your head toward the floor, fingers are in line with the toes, elbows 90 degrees. Staying for a couple breaths. And then when you're ready, reversing, come on up. And we'll come to the floor. Bring your blanket. I will show you from the side because I just want to show you the alignment of the low back. So we're coming to seated, and we're going to take the soles of the feet together and the knees out to the side, cobbler's pose. If that's too much flexion in the knees, right, you're going to bring your ankles more forward. Right, so see what works for you. You can make more of a diamond shape, or you can bring the heels a little more closer in toward the body, whatever's working for you. Now, the important thing is you want to be lifted up on a blanket or two. Remember those sitting bones from the beginning of class, the base of the pelvis. We want to make sure we're sitting up. I've got one hand on my lower back here to show you this lift on the lower back rather than any kind of rounding and sitting back onto the back of the sitting bone. So we really want to be up. Now our yesod, our foundation here in the seated poses, is the pelvis, is the sitting bone. So we want to really be able to support this lift. So you want to raise up as much as you need to for your body to be able to support that. The more you sit up on support, the more you'll be able to be on top of the sitting bones. So here we are in this place. Perhaps taking the first two fingers and placing them between big toe and second toe, and using the arms and those fingers to lift up tall. This is one option, or you could take hands behind you, tent the fingertips, lift the chest. See what works for you. Lengthen both sides of the waist. And we return again to that other foundational aspect, the diaphragm. The more you lift up tall, the more freedom you have for the breath, for the diaphragm to move freely. And if you'd like, folding forward. You can take the elbows in toward the waist and let the elbows drop onto the thighs and press down and away from the hips as you come forward. Sort of a self-assist here. And then as you're ready, come on back up. We'll lengthen the legs out long. You may want to keep a bend on the knees if it's too much, right? So again, if lengthening the legs loses you the stability here in the pelvis, then you want to bend the knees so that you can again sit up tall. So wherever you are here, taking the hands next to you, pressing the palms down into the blanket, widen the collarbones, draw the elbows toward each other, lengthen the back of the neck, shoulders down. This one can be deceptively hard, right? There can be a lot of grabbing in the hip flexors and tightness in the hamstrings. So find your way with this. May not look just like my demo. See where you are with this. Feel from the inside out. Feel this foundational connection of the sitting bones, and now we have really the whole back side of the leg and the heel as our foundation. And then as you're ready, bend the knees, and we're going to take the legs wide out to the sides. So same thing we did standing, essentially. we're now doing seated. It doesn't have to be too wide. Extend the legs again. You may want to bend the knees, even place a little bit something under the knees. Take the hands behind you, and again, draw those elbows together, not together, but toward each other. Lift the chest. Be here and breathe. Where do you find Yesod in the body, in this shape? Where do you find your foundation? And then, if you'd like, turning to face the right leg, so a little bit of a twist, and you can stay upright, or you can start to walk the hands forward, or if you have the strap and you'd like to use it, you can use the strap to pull on the strap, help you twist to face over the right leg, and even help you come forward. So however you want to work this. When you're ready, inhale and come up. And take it to the other side. Turn to face over the left leg. Right, so it's quite a spin of the rib cage. You can have hands on either side of the leg. You can use the strap if you like, if you have it. Particularly pulling with that right hand to help spin. And then as you're ready, coming back to center. Send both legs long in front of you. Finding that sense of sitting up tall. From your foundation in the pelvis. And then if you'd like, beginning to sit up or fold forward using the strap. Take your time. When you're ready, come on up. So now we've had a sense of foundation, of Yesod, in sitting in the chair. Soles of the feet, sitting bones, in standing, soles of the feet, both together and wide in standing poses, in seated poses, both with the legs out and with the legs in wide, extended wide, and feeling a real sense of that foundation of the pelvis. And now we're going to come to lying down to constructive rest position and feel a sense of foundation now through the whole back body. So using your folded blanket as a pillow for your head, a little support for the back of your head. Laying it down. Bend the knees, place the soles of the feet on the floor in line with those two sitting bones. Take the elbows out wide to the side, bent, and the palms resting on the low belly or on the hip points or on the low ribs. So you can have a sense of feeling the breath coming and going. And now be right here. Breathe. And see if with each exhale you can just give over the weight of your body a little bit to the earth. And notice this foundation you have of the back body. Let the feet be heavy. Let the pelvis be heavy. Let the torso drop. Just notice if you're holding in your shoulders, your belly, your low back, your neck, anywhere you're holding. Can you let the foundation of your body support? Just be here and breathe. And then keeping the left sole of the foot on the floor, draw the right knee in toward the body, give it a hug. You can rock it a little bit side to side, and then release the right foot back down and take the left knee in. Just an easy little hug it in. And then bring the right knee to meet the left, so both knees hugging in. And rock it a little bit from side to side, right to left. Let the knees lead you, right? So opening one knee across the middle and then closing with one knee, like a book opening and closing. Just fully rocking side to side. Just like a baby might do, right? And a baby is just, they're discovering what it's like to be in this body, to move in this body. See if you can really take it back to just original curiosity. And then come back to center, give it another hug. Either drawing the knees in, or if you'd like to take happy baby, sticking with the baby theme here, the hands to the outside of the soles of the feet. The knees are wide, and we're just drawing the knees down to the outer armpits to hug the outer rib cage. Be here and breathe. And then when you're ready, we're going to come to a nice, really supported resting, bringing the chair over if you've got the chair. Take the lower legs to the chair up until the knee. Let there be an angle on the thigh bone and lay it down. Let the arms rest wherever is comfortable for you. Maybe the elbows bent with the palms facing down on the body, or maybe the arms out to the sides, arms extended, palms facing up. Feeling this quality of yesod, foundational element. The balance point of efforting and non-efforting, of effort and surrender. few quiet minutes to just integrate our practice, and then I'll bring you out. Begin to deepen the breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Slowly make your way over onto one side to fetal position. Breathe here. And as you're ready, make your way up to a comfortable seat on the floor or on the chair. Once again, this final moment before we close our practice, reconnecting with Yesod. Where is my foundation? How can I stay connected to the earth? What are these points of foundation? So we can really sit with them and work with them throughout this week of Yesod, as well as noticing how we have foundation in our personal lives, in our relationships, in our communities, in this world, calling on these beautiful qualities as we move forward. Taking a deep breath to seal your practice. Thanks everyone for practicing today. Shavua Tov. It's really good to be with you.